Can you guys see my screen? All right, looks like that's working now. There apparently is a very looks like there's a very large delay here on the feed. But anyway, let's get rolling here. So for today's economic data, we have the following. So far today, we've had building permits, which came out at 8:30 a.m. Came in worse than expected at 1.46. Housing starts also came in worse than expected at 1.32 million. At 9 a.m., we had FOMC member, we will have FOMC member Jefferson speaking. Then at 9:15 a.m., we'll have industrial production month over month and capacity utilization rate. Industrial production is expected to have a moderate impact. And then after that, looks like that's it. Oh, no, I'm incorrect. We have at 1 p.m. FOMC member Barkin speaking. That's expected to have a moderate impact. At the same time, the Bank of England Governor Bailey will be speaking, although that's not in the United States. Perhaps two bankers speaking at the same time might have an impact. But more importantly, at 1:15 p.m., we'll have Fed Chairman Powell speaking. So that means that at 1 o'clock Eastern, you're going to have bankers speaking from everywhere in the world. So this should be pretty interesting. We can expect some significant volatility at that time. So again, that'll be at 1 p.m. Eastern time, and then before that at 12:30, we'll have FOMC member Williams speaking, which is not expected to have a major impact, but we'll see. All right, having said that, let's take a look at the market. So as of right now, the NASDAQ, we're looking at the QQQ ETF, is currently looking like it's going to open just a little bit higher than where it closed yesterday, not by much. Yesterday's action was obviously very, very bearish. We had a very, very large move down yesterday. Started up here, closed down there. For a variety of reasons have been given. Some said it has something to do with escalations in the Middle East, but my guess is that just bottom line is the market ran out of buyers. We had already seen some negative pressure to begin with, so just looks like we finally saw the sell-off commence that was building up already. Having said that, let's take a look at which stocks were moving yesterday. Um, First up, we have Mondelez, MDLZ. Now, this was able to reach our target number 2 to the downside of 65.85, and then trade down to a low of 65.22. So very nice move down there. Intel INTC was able to reach target number 1 to the upside, which was at 36.70. However, the movement up was very difficult. We saw a nice move at first, which we were able to take advantage of, but then in the middle of that move, when it was about 3/4 of the way to target number 1, we had a sharp sell-off, and then it came back. Either way, it did eventually reach target number 1. Next up is Starbucks. Now, Starbucks was not able to reach target number 1. It got to a high of 86.37. Target number 1 to the upside was 86.70, so it was well short of that. But at the beginning of the day, it was a really nice mover. We were able to capture a good portion of that nice uptrend there, so can't complain about that. Next up, we have Rivian, RIVN, which was bearish. It was able to reach target number one to the downside of $8.68. Then it traded down to a low of just above $8.30 a share. So never reached target number two to the downside, but it got at least three-fourths of the way to that target. And then lastly, Tesla, TSLA, which was able to reach target number two to the downside of 162.17. Now, there were a lot of stocks that went down yesterday, but a lot of that downward movement started after the end of our morning session. So these weren't stocks that I specifically pointed out, so therefore I won't put them into the commentary here. All right. Having said that, taking a look at the pre-market, here's what I see so far. We have Ericsson, which is currently up 6.68% on 1.8 million shares roughly. It's trading above $1 per share. You can clearly see the stock does not move any significant range. It's not very liquid. However, I will put it on the list since it does qualify, but as a fair warning, this will probably not be one that you want to pursue. But it does meet the criteria, so we will mention it either way. ERIC. Next up is HUBC, which is presently down about 6% on 5.2 million shares. It's at least $1 per share. This is right on the cusp of how much movement we need percent-wise. So as of this moment, it is qualified, but this may not still be qualified by the time we get towards the opening of the session. We'll see. Right. So I'll add it right now, but I will also mention that there are some questions there. Next up, we have PACB, Pacific Biosciences, which is currently down 25.22% on about 1.5 million shares. It's at least $1 per share at the moment, but it is falling. And looks like this stock is down. Let's see. They announced some preliminary first quarter revenue and guidance updates. They did a few things. But either way, the news was not positive. Clearly, the markets did not like what they had to say. So we are down off of that news from their guidance that they released. Next up is PRZO. That's currently up 9% on 6.3 million shares. It's at least $1 per share. We'll go ahead and add that to our pre-market radar. Again, the symbol is PRZO. Let's see. Tesla might actually qualify. I doubt it. Let me see. Tesla, nope, only down 2.5%. Not down enough. We would need it to be down at least 6% to be added to our list. It's only down 2.42%. We do know that Elon Musk has said that they will be laying off Tesla employees. If I heard correctly, it's 10% of the workforce, which is not necessarily a negative thing for the company. That actually makes their bottom line improve because they'll spend less money on labor. But it also points out the fact that the company must not be seeing good sales growth at this point. Otherwise, they wouldn't be laying people off. I do think this is just a general impact from the economy overall, but also Tesla does have its own unique problems too. Or anyway, so Tesla doesn't qualify, won't be added to our list, but just a little commentary about that. Next up is WISA, which is currently up 55% on about 13 million shares. It's at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add that to the pre-market radar. Our symbol is WISA. And then the last one that I see on my list is YYAI. However, that's only up 3%, so that doesn't qualify. We need it to be up at least 6% to meet the requirement, so that will not be added. So that's it that I have so far. Let me just double check if I have anything else. Nope. Now, actually, wait a minute. There is one that just showed up. BRTX. Let me see. That's currently up 15% On 6 million shares, it's at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add BRTX to our pre-market radar as well. Now, if you folks see any other stocks that meet all 4 of our criteria, those criteria are as follows. It needs to be a NASDAQ listed stock only. That's the first thing. It has to be at least $1 per share. So nothing under $1 per share. That must be the price it's at right now in the present pre-market session. So even if it was above $1 yesterday, if it's not right now in the pre-market, it won't count. Also in the pre-market session, as in right now, it needs to have achieved at least a 6% price change, positive or negative. And lastly, it must have achieved at least 1 million shares of pre-market trading volume. So as of right now, must have traded at least 1 million shares of volume. Now, PALI is mentioned. I do think that qualifies. Yes, it does. Up over 100%, about 4 million shares so far. It's at least $1 per share, so we'll add that to the pre-market radar as well. PALI. MCBC is mentioned. Okay, let's take a look at that. I'm not sure if that has the volume, but let's see. Nope, doesn't have the volume. So for Trader Life, this stock has only 72,000 shares traded so far. So that definitely does not reach the million shares that we need. So that will not be added. CGEM is also mentioned. And I don't think that's going to hit the volume requirement either. Nope, only 85,000 shares. So that's not going to be added. So that does not meet the volume criteria. So guys, let's make sure we're double, quadruple checking to make sure the stocks meet all 4 criteria, not just 1 or 2. Did I mention MOB? No, I did not. Let's take a look. It's currently up 8% on about 4 million shares. Is at least $1 per share. Yep, that all meets our criteria. So we'll add MOB to our pre-market radar as well. All right, folks. So if you guys see any other stocks besides the ones already mentioned that meet all 4 of our criteria, let me know in the chat. Make sure you're double checking that we have hit at least a 6% price change, positive or negative, as of right now. Make sure we've also achieved at least 1 million shares of pre-market volume and that the stock price is at least $1 per share. And of course, this must be a NASDAQ listed stock. So if you see any other stocks that meet all 4 criteria, other than the ones I just posted, let me know in the chat and we'll take a look. All right, we'll have to wrap up here since I'm running a little bit late on time. So we'll go ahead and wrap up today's pre-market pulse. Folks, please be sure to like the video. I see we have 12 likes, but more than 12 people watching. Please be sure to hit the like button. That greatly helps us with the YouTube algorithm. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if anyone's watching this on a replay, if you're not familiar with our company, check out fundertrading.com, our website. You'll see a link in the description of this video. Other than that, for everybody else, I'll see you in the coaching room in about 23 minutes, and then we'll pick up from there. All right, folks, have a great trading session. I'll see you for tomorrow's pre-market pulse. Thanks for all your help. Take care. No, it's PRZO. PRZO. No, I had PRZO was the one I found. PRZO. Yes, PRSO does qualify as well. So I'll go ahead and add that to the radar. All right, so added PRSO as well. Yep, got both of them. All right, I'll see you guys in a little bit in the coaching room. Take care.